Hey everyone, it's Ivana Lizondo again. Hey, so I just want to do a really quick video, hopefully it'll be quick, about the moons. The moon cycle. We don't have multiple moons, we have one moon, one beautiful, beautiful Luna. I get a lot of requests really wanting to learn more about the moon cycles and rituals with the moon and how to plan with the moon. And so I'm just going to take a few moments right now to give you some ideas of what the moon does for us, why it's important to use the moon as a regulatory system throughout the month, and give you some ideas on how to do that. So I'm going to start off by saying that if you followed me on Facebook for a while, you know that I absolutely love, 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 love Luna. She and I have a magical relationship. We always have since we were little, and or since I was little. She was old, but since I was little. And I want to share some of those with you. Okay, some of those practices with you. So essentially there are 4 phases to the moon. Now some people include the gibbous phases, which is kind of like in between the quarter and the half, the quarter moon and the full moon and the new moon, but I tend to kind of skip over those. So I use 4 phases. I use the new moon, then I use the waxing quarter, and then I use the full moon, and then I use the waning quarter, and then we end up back at the new moon. So typically there's four phases throughout the month. And so I'm just going to explain those very quickly. The new moon is a time when we want to set our intentions, right? The moon is dark, and just so you know, technically the new moon is not what we think. So the new moon, technically, astronomically, is when we see that very first sliver of the moon showing up again. The new moon technically is called the dark moon. So the dark moon lasts about 2 or 3 days depending on the cycle, because the cycle changes every 28 and a half days. So the dark moon is really the new moon. It's dark, it's not available. The new moon, as we call it, is the little sliver. It's also known as Diana's bow and arrow, or Artemis's bow and arrow, because all you can see is just the sliver. Anyhow, so the new moon is a time when we want to set those intentions. We want to take a look at the month ahead and take a look at what we would like to accomplish. Simple rituals include, lighting a candle, taking a sheet of paper and writing down your goals, folding it up, and blessing it or putting it somewhere safe, releasing the energy. But it's not it's not necessarily a lot of magical work or energy work that's involved. This is more of a downtime. This is more of an introspective time. What do I want to bring into my life? What do I need to release in my life? But it's really an introspective time. The moon is not highlighted, so it's lacking light. So if we don't have light, we really are not always able to see very clearly, right? So it's about taking a step back and saying, what do I want to bring into my life? The second phase is the waxing quarter phase. And this is where the moon is like literally in a quarter. And waxing means growing. So waxing phase also is indicative of strength, of growing, of expansion. So it's the energy of the moon is getting strong. We're headed towards the full moon. So there is a lot of power behind the waxing moon. So after you set your intentions in the new moon, you want to start implementing and doing those things that are going to be helpful to bringing your intentions to light once we get to the full moon. But it's about setting in place some plans, really reevaluating if your intentions were spot on. And another way to possibly do that is just to go out there, take a look at your intention sheet again, and do I need to make changes to it? Do I not? But it's about intentionally infusing the energy of growth and strength. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that intention is absolutely everything, okay? So that's the waxing moon. Then we get to the full moon, and the full moon, of course, is highlighted. The sun is hitting the moon, and it's reflecting the sun, and so we see this beautiful, beautiful Luna in the sky. But representative, really what it's saying is, I'm giving you light to see what you haven't seen. So the full moon is about releasing. It's about sharing. It's about taking time to explore externally, right? So the new moon is internal, the full moon is external. This is when you have a lot of power and a lot of energy behind the moon work. So there's been research done that shows that there's a possible correlation between criminal activity, hospital visits, especially ER visits during full moon. The term lunatic, came from a time when people noticed back in the days that the moon was full and people weren't acting, they were acting irrationally or different. So that's where lunatic came from. So this is the time when you want to spend a lot of energy and a lot of emotion in releasing those intentions that you set during the full moon. This is the time to do it. Okay. And you can do it a couple of ways. You can, again, go back to the lighting of the candles. I'm really big on the candles. And you just want to take a few moments. You just sit quietly, start to feel those intentions, right? You can get that feeling of what would it be like if I accomplished these intentions. That's what you want to bring in. It's the emotion, it's the power behind it. Light a candle, use some herbs. Whatever herbs you feel called to, or if you want to learn more about herbs, I'll be more than happy to teach you. But it really is about how do I release these intentions, right? How do I let the universe know that this is what I want to co-create? So you can take your intention list that you created in the new moon that you might have adjusted during the waxing quarter moon, and now you can literally release it. So you could burn the list. You can tear it up into little pieces and, throw it away, flush it, down the potty, anything that's going to be indicative of releasing those intentions. I always like to add a little bit of herbs when I release and then give those herbs back to Mother Earth as an offering. So I'm asking for the universe to help me bring into my life my intentions, but I'm also giving offerings in return, right? It's a reciprocal type of relationship. So there's also full moon water. So it's a good idea during the full moon to cleanse your crystals. You can put them on your ledge. You can put them outside. You can take, a little vial of spring water and place it and the windowsill or outside, and it's supposed to be, charged by the moon. You could use that water throughout the month. If you're having a hard time or you need a little bit more strength or a reminder of what those intentions were, you can always go back to that moon. And I'll be happy to teach you how to make that moon water so you don't have to pay, $10, $12 to make moon water. You can do it yourself. Okay. Anyway, so that's a time for release. And then we have where the energy starts to dissipate. So now we have a waning quarter moon. And this is where we're really starting to lower our intentions. You may feel a bit more sluggish. You may feel a little bit more, disconnected sometimes. This is more of a rest and relaxation. This is I released my intentions. Let me take a look at what I need to do for the next new moon, kind of preparation for then. So it's really more of a downtime. And as we get closer to the new moon, you may feel that energy kind of wanes as well. Okay, so with that being said, I love this. I think it's backwards on my camera, so I'm really sorry. I'll write it down. But it's the Astro Moon Diary, right? And it's really, really amazing because it's got, the waxing moon phases, talks about, Sagittarius, but it's got this planner on the back and you can follow it, or you can, see, it's really cool. It gives you the moon cycles, okay, every day. Again, I'm sorry, my camera I think is backwards, so take a look at it on the internet. Anyways, it's called the Astro Moon Diary. Not too expensive, but it's a really, really great resource. And what I use is, I use it to track my emotions, right? I use it to track my energy level. I use it to track my intentions. So it's a really good practice, to follow the moon. It's a great way to set ritual. It's a great way to help you understand and learn more about yourself and those days when you're feeling really, really good or those days when you're not feeling all that great. I typically have a very hard time during the new moon. I feel super, super tired, lethargic. I've had since I was little. And then during the full moon, sometimes I feel like my heart is, racing really, really fast. Just a lot of energy. Anyways, that's kind of the very quick ins and outs of the moon, and just a really quick idea on how to work with it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to provide more insight and to help you. And so, anyways, so I hope y'all enjoy Luna. Go connect with her. Go have some fun with her. Amazing, just to be able to have her in our life. Okay, all right. So I'm out for today, and I hope we'll see you soon. Bye.